Lori, I know that you lost most of your team. You told us that earlier. And I know from experience, that is one of the hardest things that an owner can go through. What did that season really feel like for you?
There was definitely grief. There was some resentment. You feel like you do so much for your team and then they just are like, yeah, I'm out. Bye. You have to start over. And it's very frustrating. And if I'm honest, all of those other things created trust issues for me. So then it created an issue where when I did bring in new people, it was really hard for me to trust what was happening and to trust the process of what was going on. So I kind of did a hang on kind of thing to all of my I will do all the work because I don't want anybody else to do it. It just became like this vicious cycle of I don't trust you, so I have to do it because I don't trust you. And if I teach you this, you're going to leave, and it was just very frustrating, very hard. And there was a grief process. It feels like every time somebody leaves, you're grieving the process of like they've died, even though they haven't. Even though they leave and they're like, "Oh, we'll still be friends." No, they don't. They aren't. They don't contact you. You don't reach out to them. It's not like that. For those people that can do that, that's awesome. That has not been my experience.
I think it's going to be very few people that can do that. I think we all go through that grieving process and honestly have a little bit of resentment. Most salon owners out there, we are in the business of serving people and taking care of people. And so we truly, truly care about our employees more than probably what you would, at any other business. I say this all the time. I care about all of my employees in all the businesses that we have. But my salon is just there's a little bit of a tighter bond there. It's something very, very different. Chandra, when owners come to us after losing people, what is usually the real problem that we kind of find underneath that scenario?
I think usually it ends up being a lot of the leadership and the systems behind how the business is running, and the culture is usually broken. And so that's usually one of the places we start working on when those things happen.
Yep, 100%. All right, I want to shift things just a little bit right here because something in you changed throughout this process, Lori, and we saw it like very, very clearly. What was different or what is different about how you started showing up as a leader this time around working with the Beauty Biz agency?
I think that I was in an emotionally better place during this whole process. I was doing some inner work and some things to heal me, Lori. For all of that things, I'd been working hard on my marriage, working hard on me, working hard on the salon, and I think I started to feel safe again. I feel like I had mentors that really truly did care about what was happening with me and not just about how much money I was paying them. I just started to work on the things that you guys told me to work on. Started with the handbook so that when there was questions, I could refer back to the handbook. Like, you signed this, we read this, we onboarded with this. This is where we are. So that has eliminated a lot of what I like to call freestyle thinking in my salon, because they all come in and think they can do whatever. And so now we don't. We have this. And I started working on just setting rules and boundaries. And I obviously could go back and reflect and say, this happened in my salon and I didn't like this. So how am I going to keep that from happening again? What am I going to put in place so that I don't deal with that? How am I going to make sure that these things are adhered to? And just by creating my operating procedures and job descriptions, it really took a lot of the questions out of the works, because I wanted it done my way, my vision of my business and how I wanted to treat our guests and what I had for me in my future. I mean, I can't reach my goals for myself if I'm not helping the people inside my business reach their goals. It's works both ways. I wasn't doing very good training. We've been working on that a lot. I still don't have my training program all completely done, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was. For instance, we started a new way that we do our toning services. So that required a new standard operating procedure. And we walked through this and we've all done it, using the products that we've brought in and that kind of thing. And I've definitely had to relearn some things. I've always been pretty close to people that I've worked with. I've realized that there's a reason that they say that things are lonely at the top. You can't be friends with the people that you work with. Doesn't it doesn't work. But obviously it doesn't work. I love my staff. I love getting to know them, but those girls go out and do things, and I'm not a part of that, and I'm okay with that. I don't have that need to be a part of that anymore. That's not where my intentions lie, and I know that it impedes my leadership if we're too personal, because then it just doesn't work. So that certain amount of distance, I learned that I have to maintain that, and it's better for my mental health as well if I'm not personally involved that way. And that's something I've learned. I have to protect that.
100%. It's so important. Yeah, you have to people don't realize that when you are restructuring your business, rebuilding your business, you're putting in new policies, new procedures, new systems, new operations, new everything. You have to learn to lead in a whole different way again. And it's tough. It's not easy in any way, shape, or form.